Okay, tell me, are the voice and screen clear? All okay? Are the voice and screen clear? Are the voice and screen clear? All okay? Yes, fine. So is this point clear to all of you? Now let me know this. Degree of freedom we know, translational 3, rotational 0, vibrational 0. So total degrees of freedom 3. CV is equal to F by 2R. F we have calculated 3. So simply 3 by 2R. That's it. Up to this, is that clear? Calculation of CV of a gas. CV of monoatomic gas. It is simply F by 2R. So it is 3 by 2R. बघा बाळांनो समजले का? Now I will calculate CP. What is CP? So CP is CV plus R. What is CV? CV is 3 by 2R. So 3 by 2R plus R. 3 by 2R plus R. It will be 5 by 2R. Okay. It will be simply 5 by 2R. Now you people tell me what is gamma. You can simply do CP upon CV, CP upon CV, or you may use this formula 1 plus 2 by F. Both are valid. काय आलं बघा. And it should be more than 1. Okay, it should be always more than 1. You just calculate it and let me know in the chat box. Tell me, what is gamma? You can simply do this CP upon CV. 5 by 2R divided by 3 by 2R. 1 by 2 la 1 by 2 cancel. R la R cancel. 5 by 2R divided by 3 by 2R. So let's write here 5 by 2R divided by 3 by 2R. CP upon CV. You can use 1 plus 2 by F also. You will get same answer. Okay. Sir, R by 2 cancel. Answer is 5 by 3. Now let us write here 5 by 3 as 1.67. Okay, 5 by 3 as 1.66666. So it can be written as 1.67. So hope this is clear to all of you. This is CpCv gamma F CpCv gamma of monoatomic gas. Okay, now let us write here type of gas as diatomic. Okay, if not specified, of course we will take it as rigid gas, no vibrations. Diatomic rigid gas or rigid molecule. 3 translational, rotational. See, diatomic molecule is a linear molecule. Any linear molecule, you have to neglect 1 rotational degree of freedom. So only 2 rotational degrees of freedom will remain. It is already given that molecule is rigid, so it cannot vibrate. So answer is going to be 5. F is equal to 5. CV is equal to F by 2R. So you shall write answer there as 5 by 2R. CP is equal to CV plus R. So you shall write CV as 5 by 2R plus R. That shall give you what? 5 by 2R plus R. 5 by 2 plus 1 is 7 by 2 R. And what shall be your gamma? It shall be simply, tell me in the chat box what shall be the gamma. You write this first. Check whether you are getting it on your own without my help. And then let me know in the chat box what is the value of gamma. बघा जरा gamma काय आहे तो. Gamma is inversely proportional to F. Okay, ultimately it is inversely proportional to F. If F increases, 2 by F decreases, so gamma decreases. If F increases, 2 by F decreases. Value which is being added is decreasing. Value which is added is being decreasing, so gamma will decrease. 0.713. No, it's not 0.713. So what is that? CP upon CV. Sir, CP is 7 by 2R divided by CV is, sir, 5 by 2R. Sir, R cancel. Answer is 7 upon 5. 7 upon 5 is 1.4. You can do the calculation on your own, or I just know 1 by 5 is 0.2. 1 by 5 is 0.2. 0.2 into 7 is 1.4. So degree of freedom increase झाला. F increase झाला. If F increases, 2 by F decreases. Value which is being added is decreasing. So overall value will decrease. So F increase झाला की gamma decrease होणार. You can observe here. So it is 1.4. For air, you can take gamma as 1.4 because air is mostly consists of nitrogen and oxygen. Majorly it consists of nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen is diatomic, oxygen is also diatomic, so we can say air is a diatomic gas, and for air approximately we can take gamma of air as 1.4. Are you getting this? Gamma of air is approximately 1.4. Is that logic clear? Why people say that gamma of air is 1.41 or 1.42 or 1.40 or 1.4? Why do they do that? Because air is vastly made up of oxygen and nitrogen, right? So those are diatomic gases. Those are diatomic gases. Fine. Or those are diatomic molecules. Hope up to this it is clear to all of you. Now let me know in the chat box gamma of diatomic non-rigid. One vibrational mode will give you 2 degrees of freedom. एक वाइब्रेशन तुम्हाला 2 डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम देणार, एक कायनेटिक वाली आणि एक पोटेन्शियल वाली. ओके, so finally you shall write 3 translational. See, ultimately it is diatomic, so it is linear. If it is linear, 1 rotational degree of freedom will be neglected, and for vibration you shall write 2 into bracket 1 because 1 vibration mode will give you 2 degrees of freedom, so that will result into 7. Okay, so with the F by 2R logic, CV will be equal to 7 by 2R. CP will be equal to what? CV plus R. 7 by 2R plus R. That will give us 9 by 2R. Right? And simply this CP upon CV shall result into 9 by 2R divided by 7 by 2R. That will give us 9 by 7. What is that? 9 by 7? Tell me fast. 1 by 7 is what? Point. 1 by 7 is what? Okay, final answer is what? 1.28. All right. Final answer sanga 1.28. All right. Again, you can observe that degree of freedom F slightly increased 5 to 7. Gamma decreased 1.40 चा 1.28 झाला बाळांनो. Fine. All right, sir. Now we have this also. Let's make last point. Polyatomic linear molecule. Polyatomic linear molecule. Okay, of course, vibrational we have to neglect. So 3 translational plus, as it is a linear molecule, it is polyatomic. More than 2 atoms are there. 3, 4, 5, 6. But it is a linear molecule. Example is carbon dioxide. Okay, it has 3 atoms, but all 3 atoms are in single line. So 3 translational, 2 rotational because 1 rotational is to be neglected. Vibrations not there. So answer is 5. So 5 वाला logic बाळांनो repeat करा. F by 2R, 5 by 2R, 7 by 2R. Just write directly now. Here write 7 by 5. 7 by 5 is 1.40. Just write it down. आता वेळ नाही लागणार. अगदी सिंपल झालं सगळं. Point number 5, write down here. Polyatomic non-linear. Of course, vibrations you have to neglect now. So for that, what shall be written? For that, sir, 3 translational, 3 rotational. Of course, vibration is to be neglected. So total degrees of freedom is 6. Sir, F by 2R will give us 6 by 2R. Sir, CP is CV plus R, 6 by 2R plus R. That will give us 8 by 2R. I'm not writing 8 by 2 as 4. I'm just reserving that 2. Fine. So CP upon CV is 8 by 2R divided by 6 by 2R. Sir, R by 2 cancel. Answer is 8 by 4. All right. Sorry, 8 by 6. 8 by 6. What is that? Final answer, tell me. 4/3 वगैरे करा तुम्ही. You can do that on your own. 4/3, that shall be 1.33. So for polyatomic non-linear gas, okay, if you are given a polyatomic gas and it is not given whether it is linear or non-linear, okay, if it is given that, if it is not given whether it is linear or not linear, in that case you will consider this case, okay, you will consider it to be non-linear. जसं रिजिड आहे की नाही सांगितलं, रिजिड आहे की नाही हे नाही सांगितलं तर काय करायचं, रिजिड घ्यायचं, व्हायब्रेशन नाही कन्सिडर करायचं. तसं whether it is linear or non-linear नाही सांगितलं, if they didn't give us, if they don't give the information of whether the molecule is linear or non-linear, we will take it as linear. Okay, if they don't say it is non-rigid or rigid, we will use the rigid case. Okay, now one question is there. The question is something like this: gamma is never 2, असा एक question है. Obviously it is 1 plus 2 by f. F is always more than 2. In translational degrees of freedom start 3 पासून होत आहेत. Okay, f is 3, so 2/3, f जेव्हा minimum असेल, minimum f किती आहे, 3 आहे. So in that case this 2/3 is also going to be the value less than 1. 1 plus less than 1 is going to be less than 2. So gamma is always going to be less than 2. Okay, gamma is always going to be less than 2. Fine. All right. So is this chart clear to all of you, everyone? I want reply from everyone now. Is this chart clear to all of you? F पण झाला, CV झाला, CP झाला, गॅमा झाला, सगळे गॅस पण झाले. पॉलीएटॉमिक, लिनियर, नॉन लिनियर, जरा एकदा चेक करा. न बघता करता येते, मी काही बघितलेलं नाहीये, मी सगळं हे न बघता करायला लागलोय, तुम्हाला सुद्धा हे सगळं न बघता करता येईल. ओके, कुठेही चार्ट वगैरे दिला नाहीये मॉड्यूल मध्ये, बट वी कॅन डू दॅट ऑन आवर ओन. ओके, now this we did for gases, right? This we did for gases. Now let's do this for water, or let's not do it for water, let's do it for solid. The same chart now we want to make for solid. Okay, now the first thing that you should know is solids are incompressible, solids and liquids are incompressible. Okay, so solid साठी जे काय तुम्ही heat exchange कराल, liquid बरोबर जे काय तुम्ही बाळांनो heat exchange कराल, that heat is always heat exchange at constant volume. Okay, pressure चा काही विचार नाहीये, कारण even with the large change in pressure there is almost no change in the volume of the liquid or solid. So solid साठी CP ही कॉन्सेप्ट नसते, CV ही कॉन्सेप्ट पण नसते, नुसतंच आम्ही C म्हणतो. गॅस साठी CP CV अशा दोन स्पेसिफिक हीट असतील, बट फॉर सॉलिड अँड लिक्विड वी विल नॉट बी हॅव्हिंग कॉन्सेप्ट्स लाईक CP अँड CV. फक्त C म्हणायचं, फक्त C म्हणायचं, बिकॉज गॅसेस and because liquids and gases do not change their volume, even the pressure changes by large amount. Okay, so तिकडे CP CV असली काय कॉन्सेप्टच नाहीये. Okay sir, fine, all right, but whatever C that you are going to write, you will be writing it as F/2R. Okay, CP ची कॉन्सेप्ट घेऊ नका, पण CV पण म्हणायचं नाही. आम्हाला माहित आहे ऑलरेडी की व्हॉल्यूम बदलणार नाहीये. स्पेसिफिकली तुम्ही आम्हाला सांगू नका की CV. Okay, no need to specifically tell us as CV. We will take it as C only, but we will use the formula for CV itself. Okay, now let us take monoatomic solid. Monoatomic solid. Okay, now monoatomic solid साठी बाळांनो, मोनोएटॉमिक सॉलिड साठी बाळांनो हा चार्ट करायचाच नाहीये, की गॅमा वगैरे काय कॉन्सेप्ट असतच नाही. ओके, फॉर सॉलिड्स वी डोंट हॅव कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ गॅमा. ओके, for solids we have only this concept. Again, in this concept also we will not write their CV, we will write only C. C is equal to simply F/2R, molar specific heat of solid at constant volume at constant pressure असं कोणी म्हणत नाही. molar specific heat of solid, that's it. It is simply F/2R. These columns are irrelevant for solids as well as liquids also. Though liquid have some translational degree of freedom, but that can be neglected. Okay, monoatomic solid, translational degrees of freedom. Okay, let's say we have one solid. Okay, let's say we have one solid. These are the atoms or the molecules. Molecule is composed of single molecule, single atom only, monoatomic molecules. So these molecules do not have any kind of translational energy. They cannot wander like this. Agree, disagree, reply me in the chat box. Solid molecules do not have any kind of translational degree of freedom. Center of mass इकडे तिकडे जाणार नाही. Let the molecule be monoatomic, diatomic, triatomic, tetraatomic, whatever it is. But molecules in the solid do not have translational degree of freedom. Okay, sir. It means translational degree of freedom 0 plus. Molecules in the solid cannot rotate about x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So they do not have rotational degree of freedom also. Okay, sir. Fine. So you want to say this rotational degree of freedom is also 0. All right. Now, solid molecules can vibrate about their mean position. Solid molecules can vibrate about their mean position. Now they can vibrate along x-axis, they can vibrate along y-axis, or their vibration can be split up into 3 parts: along x, along y, and along z. So there are 3 modes of vibration for one molecule. For one molecule and for one atom, there are एका molecule मधल्या एका atom साठी. Okay, one atom in one molecule can vibrate in 3 possible modes: along x, along y, along z. Okay, fine, sir. So it means you want to say that the modes of vibration are 3 for one atom. For one atom, there are 3 modes of vibration. Each mode of vibration contributes for 2 degrees of freedom. So total degrees of freedom किती आल्या बघा? 6 आल्या. Am I right? Am I right? Is that calculation clear to all of you? Monoatomic solid. जरा बघा. थोडंसं ऍडिशनल आहे, थोडंसं हायर आहे, समजते मला. बट वी शॅल बी एबल टू डू इट. येते का बघा, आम्हाला समजलं का बघा. Translational neglected because molecules cannot wander here and there inside the solid. So translational 0. The molecules cannot even rotate. They can only vibrate. Now that vibration can be split up into 3 parts. Every atom can vibrate. Okay, not only the molecule itself, not only as a molecule, as an atom, it has vibrational degrees of freedom. Every atom has vibrational degrees of freedom along x, along y, and along z. All right, sir. So 3 vibrations. One atom can make 3 vibrations. Each vibration will give you 2 modes. Sorry, each mode of vibration will give you 2 degrees of freedom. So ultimately you will be having 6 degrees of freedom. So that will give you monoatomic solid. For monoatomic solid, specific heat is equal to, that is molar specific heat is equal to F by 2R, that is 6 by 2R. That will result into 3 times R. That will result into 3 times R. Is that clear? Is that clear? But R is a gas constant. It is a universal gas constant. कॉन्स्टंट आहे, गॅसचा कॉन्स्टंट आहे. मग ते सॉलिड साठी वापरायचा नाही असं काय आहे का? असं काही नाही, असं काही नाही. नेक्स्ट, आमच्या मनात काय प्रश्न येतो? We think that R is a gas constant, so we will not use it for solid or liquid. It's not like that. It is universal gas constant. We can, if it is applicable, we will use it anywhere. जिथं जिथं तो applicable आहे तिथं सगळ्या ठिकाणी आम्ही वापरणार तो. Fine. Now let us consider triatomic solid. Triatomic solid. Okay. Every molecule of the solid, if it is made up of 3 atoms. Okay, triatomic solid. Example is water in the liquid phase is considered as triatomic solid. Now I made a very interesting statement. I am saying water, not ice. I am saying water, not ice. Water can be considered as a triatomic solid. Water can be considered as a triatomic solid. Okay, because the energy which is possessed by the water molecules by vibration is much larger than the energy which is possessed by the random motion or the translational motion of water molecules. So water can be considered as a triatomic solid. Whether it is right or wrong, we can verify. Okay, verify. But water is a triatomic solid. So here, though we know that water molecules can wander here and there, but that translational movement or that degree of freedom or the energy in the translational degree of freedom is negligible compared with the vibrational. So again here you will write the laws of solid itself. For translational degrees of freedom of translation 0, rotation 0. Fine. Now there are 3 atoms in the molecule. There are 3 atoms in the molecule. Every atom can vibrate in 3 possible modes. Every atom can vibrate in 3 possible modes. Every possible mode will give you 2 degrees of freedom. Every possible mode will give us 3 degrees of freedom. There are 3 atoms. Each atom can vibrate in 3 possible modes, along X, along Y, along Z, and each mode of vibration gives you 2 degrees of freedom. So that will result into what? 3 into 3 is 9, into 2 is 18. So water molecule has 18 degrees of freedom. Water molecule has 18 degrees of freedom. Is that clear? Let me know in the chat box. Is that clear? Water has 18 degrees of freedom. Whether it is right or wrong, we'll verify. But whether it is mathematically correct. Am I logical? मी लॉजिकल वाटतोय का की काही लिहायला लागलोय? पेनातली शय संपवायची म्हणून लिहायला लागलोय का मी? नाही, certainly not. हा, am I right? अरे सांगा की, तुम्हीच सांगायचंय. मी करेक्ट आहे की नाही तुम्हीच सांगायचंय. तुम्हाला पटलंय की नाही सांगा मला. We'll verify whether this logic will lead to some realistic result or some non-realistic result. We'll verify that. Now, if F is 18, now we know C is equal to F by 2R. Let's write here C is equal to F by 2R. So what is that F? F is 18, sir. 18 upon 2 into R. So that answer will be equal to 9 times R. Okay, sir, fine. Now, can you tell me, for water, we found out molar specific heat as 18 times R. Okay. Now, let us interpret it. Okay, these are some higher level logics. We can do it. Okay. I think it's difficult for us. Fine. So, for water, we have molar specific heat as 18R. So, molar specific heat of water is equal to not 18R, it is 9 times R. Okay. What does that mean? 9 times R. Okay, it is amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of water by 1 degree Celsius. 1 mole of water by 1 degree Celsius. All right, sir. So, 1 mole of water, 1 mole of water is equal to 18 gram. 1 mole of water is 18 gram. Delta T, let us take 1 degree Celsius. Delta T, let us take 1 degree Celsius. Okay, 1 mole of water, let us substitute as 18 gram. Delta T, let us take 1 degree Celsius. So, 9 times R. Okay, 9 times R, we will get some value of 9 times R. What will be that value 9 times R? Let us write that 9 times R as 9 multiplied by R is 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole. Joule per Kelvin per mole. You may write per Kelvin or per degree Celsius, absolutely no problem, because it is temperature difference. Now let us write this 9 into 31, 9 into 8.31, 8.314. I am writing it as 8.3 or 8.31. Let that joule remain as it is, or let us replace that joule as 1 joule is equal to 4.18 calorie. Let us keep this Kelvin as it is. Let us keep this Kelvin as it is. Okay, and let us write that mole as 18 gram. 1 mole of water is 18 gram. All right. Now, can you do this calculation for me? Do this calculation fast and tell me how many calorie per gram per Kelvin or per degree Celsius. Okay, absolutely no problem if you use degree Celsius instead of calorie. Absolutely no problem. Can you calculate this for me? 918, that's half. 918, that's half, right? Here we have 8.31 and here we have 4.18. Tell me, Just tell me what is the answer. 1.7 what? Let me read it. 17.03 should be the wrong answer. What is that answer? It will certainly not be 17 point something. It cannot be 7 point something. How can it be 7 point something? अरे 9 गुणिले 2 18, 8 भागिले 2 किती होते हैं? 4 point something होते हैं. ओके, सो किती आन्सर यायला लागले? 17 यायला लागले. ओके, 9 times r. एका मोलला काय लिहिलं आपण? 18 ग्राम. 1 mole of water is 18 gram. Fine. Okay, we made a mistake. We made a mistake. We made a mistake. How we wrote joule equal to 4.18 calorie? That's the mistake. Okay, so we are getting some random results. Joule equal to what? Calorie upon 4.18. Am I right? Joule is equal to what? Calorie upon 4.18. So just rub those steps, or just strike through those steps, and let us write those steps again. 8.31 joule can be written as calorie upon 4.18. You can take it as 4.2 for simplification of calculation. That Kelvin, you can keep that Kelvin as it is, no problem. And let me write it here again. 9 into 8.31. Let us write joule as calorie upon 4.18 or 4.2. That Kelvin as it is, you may write it as degrees Celsius, and 1 mole as 18 gram, so that we can get some answer in calorie per gram per Kelvin or calorie per gram per degree Celsius. So just do this calculation for me and let me know the result. It should be somewhat closer to 1. Just check whether you get the answer closer to 1 or not. These many calorie per gram per Kelvin, or these many calorie per gram per degree Celsius. It should be close to 1. Okay, and which is the fact that we know. चेक करा बाळांनो जरा, कॅल्क्युलेशन करा की. 918 2. You can take here 4.18 also, no problem. 4.18, 918, that will become 2. So that results into what? 8.31. 4.18 doubled, that will give you 8.36. Isn't this the fact? Isn't it a fact? Yes, no? Tell me fast. Amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius is 1 calorie. So water is triatomic solid. Water can be considered as a triatomic solid. So from gases we will just find out the method to get the degrees of freedom, and then the method to get CV, then CP, and then gamma, and from that we applied the logic to solid, and from that one of the most familiar liquid, water, and now we have same results. So these are the results which are being generated. Okay, they are writing molar specific heat of water as 9R, which agrees with the practically verified value, which is 1 calorie per gram per degree Celsius. So that logic of finding degree of freedom, CP, CV, gamma, ये क्या logic है? Degree of freedom, CP, CV, gamma, तो ये क्या logic है? With that logic, we can arrive at some practical, convincing results. So whatever is being written by the theory, whatever is being predicted by the theory, is practically verified, and hence the theory is accepted. समजलं का फिजिक्स मध्ये theories काय accept होतात, कशा accept होतात? This is the well-known fact. This is how we define 1 calorie. It is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of water by 1 degree Celsius. You should arrive at that result ultimately. So for calculation simplification, we take R is equal to 2 calorie per mole per degree Celsius. Yes, calculation purpose साठी तुम्ही R directly याच्यामध्ये पण घेऊ शकता. कशामध्ये? That you can do directly 9 times R. So instead of writing R as 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole, you may write it as 2 calorie per Kelvin. This is 9 times R, right? R, write 2 calorie per Kelvin per mole, and then you can write this 9 as it is, 2 calorie as it is, that Kelvin as degree Celsius, no problem, and that mole as 18 gram. And there you can get 9 upon 18 as 2. 2 cancel, so answer is 1 calorie per gram per degree Celsius. This is also valid, no problem. Okay. As we are using some different units, so let us use the symbol of equivalence. Let us use the symbol of equivalence because we have converted the units, right? So let us use the symbol of equivalence instead of equal to. Okay, everywhere we shall use the symbol of equivalence. So here I am using the symbol of equivalence directly. Fine. Hope this point is same thing changes for ice. Same thing changes for ice. Same thing changes for ice म्हणजे Tell me fast. What thing changes for ice? Specific heat of ice. Yes, you can do that for specific heat of ice also. Okay. Ice ला काय घेणार तुम्ही? आईस साठी काय करणार? आईस साठी 0.5 कॅलरी पर ग्राम पर डिग्री सेल्सियस येते. ओके. आईस साठी काय येते? 0.5 कॅलरी पर ग्राम पर डिग्री सेल्सियस येते. फॉर दॅट व्हॉट इज रिक्वायर्ड? कुठल्या डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम कन्सिडर करणार? आज जरा आईस साठी पण विचार करून घ्या. ओके. आज ॲज अ होमवर्क थिंक फॉर आईस. आईसचा सी कसा कॅल्क्युलेट करणार? कारण प्रत्येक वेळी ऍप्लिकेबल होईल असं नाही, पण इथं व्हेरीफाय करून बघा तुम्ही एकदा. आज जरा विचार करा. मी कधी केला नाहीये, पण तुम्ही एकदा करून बघा. करता येईल, डेफिनेटली करता येईल. ओके, फाईन. सो आर दी थिंग्स टॉट इन टुडेज लेक्चर क्लिअर टू ऑल ऑफ यू? या सगळ्या गोष्टी समजल्या का? आपण काय काय डिस्कस केलं आज? एव्हरीवन स्टार्ट रिप्लाइंग. थोडंसं हायर लेवलला आपण गेलो आज, पण बेसिक्स जर क्लिअर असतील तर ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी अगदी सिंपल आहेत. ओके, तर मी न बघता करू शकतो, तर तुम्ही सुद्धा न बघता करू शकताय. ओके, डेफिनेटली करू शकताय. फाईन, गुड. How much time we have? 6 minutes. All right. So let us try to solve some example, at least 1 or 2 examples. Right. But let us write some formulae again. Okay. Write down the heading as useful formulae for mixture of gases. Useful formulae for mixture of gases. Okay. Useful formulae for mixture of gases. When you are given mixture of gases, how to find different physical quantities? Just write down. These formulae are very easy to remember. एखादा फॉर्म्युला लक्षात ठेवावा लागतो, and based on that formula, other formula you will simply either derive or calculate. Total internal energy of the mixture is internal energy of the first gas plus internal energy of the second gas, so on up to internal energy of nth component or nth gas. Okay, molar mass of mixture is equal to mole fraction of first gas plus mole fraction of second gas and so on. So write down here these things. Let us write down. What is M of mixture? It is molar mass of mixture. Molar mass of mixture. Just keep on writing the things. What is X? X is mole fraction. How to find out mole fraction? You must be knowing this. For example, if you want to find out mole fraction of the first component, is equal to number of moles of first component divided by total number of moles. Similarly, if you want to find out mole fraction of second component, number of moles of second component divided by total number of moles. This is called as mole fraction. This fact you must be already knowing. So let us write molar mass of mixture. After putting this n1 upon n1 plus n2 and so on, n2 upon n1 plus n2 and so on in this formula, what we will get is n1 m1 plus n2 m2 and so on up to last component whole divided by n1 plus n2 and so on. Okay, just keep on writing the formulae. We have to remember this formula. Okay, for mixture सगळे फॉर्म्युले आपण डिराइव्ह करत बसणार नाही. Okay, we will remember these formulae. Okay, now Dalton's law of partial pressure that we already know. Pressure of a mixture is pressure due to first gas is plus partial pressure due to second gas plus partial pressure due to third gas and so on. Okay, you simply have to add all the partial pressures of the gases, then you will get pressure of the mixture. CV of the mixture, mixtureचा CV of the mixture is very simple, just like this, just like this, just like this. N1 CV1 पहिल्या componentचा CV into N1 त्याचे number of moles, N2 CV2 and so on whole divided by N1 plus N2 and so on up to total number of moles. Mole fraction circle logic. N1 upon this, N2 upon this, that will give you mole fractions. Or you can simply remember N1 CV1 plus N2 CV2 and so on whole divided by N1 plus N2 and so on. CP of mixture, very simple. How to find out CP of mixture? Very simple, sir. CP of mixture is CP CV plus R. CP is CV plus R. So CV of mixture plus R. CV of mixture plus R. So how to find gamma of mixture? Very simple. CP of mixture divided by CV of mixture. CP of mixture divided by CV of mixture. After putting the values, this value here, this value of CV here, then calculating CP, ultimately the formula that we get is something like this, that we are going to remember. Okay, we can derive this formula. If we have some leisure time, we will derive this formula also. Okay, but for time being, we'll try to remember. Okay, this is very simple because we already know CP upon CV. This is very simple. Only thing that is to be remembered is this and this. This is also obvious. This is also obvious. This you have to remember. This you have to remember. CP obvious, CV plus R. Gamma obvious, CP upon CV. And one more non-obvious formula. Total number of moles of the mixture divided by gamma of mixture minus 1 is equal to number of moles of first component divided by gamma of first component minus 1 plus N2 upon gamma 2 minus 1 and so on and so on. This is also somewhat non-obvious formula, so we have to remember it. We can derive this also. This is very simple to derive. We can derive it. Okay. So these are some of the important formulae from the point of view of mixture. Okay. One more formula I'm going to write here. That is formula for temperature of a mixture. You just keep on writing it and we will